We're going to be doing a new downpipe for the 2012 Civic Si, and it's going to be by a company called CNT Racing. A 3-inch downpipe, obviously with the 4-inch bell mouth, and then it's also going to have the 200 cell high flow cat on it. I did lower the vehicle on H&R lowering springs, and it looks great. I lowered it about 1.5 inches in the front, 1.25 inches in the rear, so it looks really nice. I definitely like the way it sits. That's what it is at idle. Obviously it's not 100% warmed up, you know, 180, 190, that's when I usually have the fans coming on. 196 is usually when it kicks on, but 14.7 is usually where it just sits around, and then when I rev it, and then if we hold it, alright, and since I'm super slacking on not showing you guys anything that I've been doing on video, here is the 2013 Honda Pilot that I lifted also, and I put a bigger tire on it. So the kit claims, I believe it's called the Traxa lift kit. So let's see if we can even see it in here. No, it's going to be all the way at the top. So it's just a spacer. And that right there is just a sway bar end link bracket that kind of moves it over because of the geometry. So basically they claim it to be a 2-2, so a 2-inch in the front, 2-inch in the rear. But when I did all my measurements, it ended up being a 2-inch in the front and a 1.5 inch in the rear. Which it doesn't matter. I'm super stoked. It gives it a way better ride. I don't like it when it's raked up in the rear. But for the tire size, let's see what we got. 265, 60, 18 on just the factory 18s. This is a fully stock K24Z7. And then we have the Skunk 2 cold air intake, goes all the way down there. And we got a line coming here. This is the water meth. We got a battery relocation for the intake. And then we have the H&R lowering springs. Dropped it about 1.5 inches in the front, 1.25 inches in the rear. Looks pretty good. So to get started on this, I'm going to remove the whole cowl, the wipers, and then I'm going to be able to get access to the rear of the engine. So I'm going to start spraying the bolts up top that connect to the head flange, because these have an integrated exhaust housing into the head itself. We're going to take all this stuff off, and we're going to get all those bolts sprayed. So now that we got the last clip off of here, and you disconnect the washer nozzle tube right there, and this will just come right off. Okay. So now we're going to have to take off this plate right here. So I believe this is 3 12 mils on each side, and then you have one right down there, you got one right there, and you got one right there. So 3 in the back, 3 on each side right here. So the 3 in the back are actually 10 mils. So just know that. So the 3 on either side, those are 12 mils. The 3 in the back are the 10 mils. So now we're going to remove this plate. It's going to give us full access. So let me grab a flashlight. So as you can see down here, on those 4 bolts, there's one here, one down there, another one here, another one down there. Hopefully they do not break. But we will be spraying it on those so we can remove them. As you can see, the O2 sensor right in the top. Got the cat down there. So there's one going straight down, and then there's a cat going out. All right, so the package finally came in. This is from CNT Racing. So we're gonna pop this guy open. This is packaged really nicely. So far, no matter what downpipe I've ever purchased, this thing looks awesome. So, the bell mouth alone looks real. Yeah, that looks nice. All shaved down inside. Nice and clean welds. Very nice TIG welding. This looks really good. Flanges look to be about 1/2 inch, which are thick. Those are nice. Great for durability. Right, this looks nice. This bell mouth looks really, really nice. Looks better than a lot of them that I've seen on there for, you know, at least another 100, 150 on top of what already, you know, you're paying for. So for this downpipe right on their website is under $300. And that's just amazing. So the total flange size is about 5.5 inches. So right to the inner is 4.5. Wow, that's actually a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be. The inner right here is almost 2. It's 1 7/8 inches. So that's still so much bigger. Once I take this off of the stock downpipe, you're going to see the huge difference. So and then we're coming down. We have the flex pipe right there. So that's awesome. And then the nice small high flow cat. And then the next bung, CNT Racing. And again, with the nice thick flange. The thing is awesome. Let's see if we can see the cat in there. Very nice design. Looks cool. It's great again with the welds, with everything. This looks awesome. And let's see what else it comes with. Nice CNT Racing sticker. It comes with all the hardware. This actually is just going to be the hardware kit for the rear. So it's going to be the 3 bolts right here that mounts to your either your aftermarket or factory catback. So the 4 bolts up there, mine are right here. So I took 2 of them off already. This is one of them, and as you can see, does not look good. So most likely what I'm going to do is I'm either going to go get the factory bolts from Honda, 4 of them, or I'm going to just go to the parts store and see if I can find a pretty good replica of this. I just don't want them degrading or wearing down very quickly. So, oh, it looks like we got a plate frame. That's awesome. CNTRacing.com. That's sweet. Thanks, guys. Off camera, take off the heat shield. So right now we have this top heat shield. Right here is a 10 mil, or for me it was. I used one of the strip bolt remover sockets. So it was a 10 mil in that. I just was, you know, nervous that it was going to strip anyways. So I just used one of those. The ones for the downpipe itself up top here that mount to the head flange, those actually came off pretty simply. So there's 2 up top, and that's going to be holding the top shroud. 2 underneath, right here, and this one right down there, as you can see. So there's going to be 4 that mount it, and then obviously you have the top O2 sensor. So I have that unplugged right now. and I will be removing these 4 bolts. And you can definitely do this up top as long as you can remove this O2 sensor. So that will make it easy getting this shroud off. So I already started taking it off, as you can see. So up there is that's the flange that's molded out of the head. So there's 2 studs at the top. That's going to actually help you just hang the exhaust, and then you got the 2 2 bolts that go into the bottom. We got 2 spring bolts right here for the secondary where it mates up. So right off the head it comes down 90. I still got to move it out of the way, but it comes down and bolts to this. So there's 2 spring bolts, and then as we move our way back, you got the secondary O2 sensor, you got the hanger, the second cat, and then this is the big problem. So obviously, as you can see there, I got to end up cutting these off because these are all just molded nastiness. So I'm going to have to cut that off, and then we'll be able to drop this hanger. This will come out, and then the new one-piece downpipe will go in. All right, so as you can see, I had to cut off the 3-bolt flange that was connecting the cat back to the back side of the downpipe. So had to cut that off, break it off. This is the factory horrible, tiny downpipe cat. Yeah. So there's that. There's where it connects right here, just like this. And then it comes out to the secondary O2, then the remaining cat. So I'm gonna weigh all this. All right. So let's see, we'll just stuff this in there. We'll weigh them 2 separate pieces. All right. So this one alone, right at 9 pounds. Okay, that's zeroing out. Let's grab this. Right at 6 pounds. So we're at 15 pounds for the stock. Right at 11 pounds. Look at that, 4 pound savings. It's pretty awesome. Alright, so here's the CNT downpipe in, connected to the factory cat back. So as you can see, the fitment is really good. There's the cat. I have my rear O2 sensor plugged off. Obviously, I'm not even running it. I have it tuned out in the Flash Pro anyways. This is the fitment all the way up. Either side with the flex pipe. We'll move over here. See it bolted to the head. I did all new hardware. They didn't supply it for what met the head, so I had to do all new hardware. They did give a gasket and a new gasket back here and the hardware, but I chose to do flange nuts on the other end just for a little bit better torque. So yeah, so let's get it down off these jack stands and get a cold start and see how it sounds. That sounds awesome. So shout out to CNT. That downpipe is pretty awesome. Even though it's catted, it sounds good. We're gonna give you an update on how it sounds driving and everything, so stay tuned. This is the following day, and I have the downpipe, everything installed on the Civic. out of the whole kit, I was actually honestly surprised that it did not start vibrating due to the downpipe, because everyone says like the full race 3-inch downpipe and everything will actually vibrate inside the chassis. You'll have to do a new rear motor mount and whatnot, or a transmission mount, and I didn't have to do anything. The thing sounds great, has a little bit of rasp at like maybe 6,000 to like a little bit above 6,000 RPMs, but I mean, it sounds great, and I would definitely recommend this downpipe to anyone. So I'll give you another look at what it sounds like. This is obviously warm. Everything else, great. I did notice on the tune that it is running a little bit leaner. Right before VTEC and all the way to Redline, changed that in the tune. So that does mean that it is running a lot better and healthier, that I have to add more fuel into it now. So that should definitely pick up a few horsepower on top of that. So that's great. And I'm going to check in with you guys if I do any more mods or anything like that. So I'll catch you guys later.